Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Stellar Lumens and XLM. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now I am going to give you guys a little bit of a warning ahead of time before we do fully jump on into this video. This video is scheduled for a later time, so prices and charts in this video may be a little bit different compared to what you are seeing currently within the market, but they do still hold strong long term and on the macro view. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So obviously I am talking to you guys about XLM's major breakout event. This is in comparison with XRP as well. I've been addressing XRP and XLM for a very long time. But I do believe that XLM is also on its way to a massive breakout event. We are also talking more so about alt season. Bitcoin season is currently in store for us. I have been watching Bitcoin for a very long time, but more so I'm going off of these major patterns here within the 73 centile zone and stuff like that we just recently hit on XLM, and then of course going back to the all-time high of about like 90 cents overall. So with this in mind, let's just dive in. Let's talk about a few things. So I tweeted out saying XRP and XLM's time is nearing. Now, what does this mean? Could it just be a hype comment? Is it just a, hey, we're going to the moon, but, no substance? Well, let's actually talk about the substance behind this, and let's actually talk about this and address it. So in terms of the total two, I addressed the total two earlier today. I addressed the total two almost on a daily scale just to really kind of watch this. This is the weekly chart. You guys can really kind of see where we currently are at in terms of resistance. Now, talking about resistance, I actually want to go off of the, points back here where we were almost in this similar structure that we are in now, except we had a major correction off of the highs back here. And this actually goes down to this low point before we had that official breakout over the 382. Let me get rid of the multi-year fib level that I do currently have on the scale. I'm going to bring that back and really kind of address that as well. But let's go off of these lows down here as well. Now, what I'm really trying to show you guys here is, we're in a very similar structure to what we were back in June, all the way to the topping point in September for the, or actually not even September, technically going all the way back to like November. But this is going off of the high point back in May, off of the corrective state before we went to this all-time high. So now in terms of the all-time high for the altcoin market, we were at about $1.71 trillion back in November, off of this massive correction all the way down to about like $860 billion. Here we have a breakout event above the 382. Check out the 382 breaking point back here, which led us on this nice major move. If we do repeat this same exact move, let's actually look at this. So currently, like I said, breaking above the 382. Could we be seeing this candle playing out for us? It's possible. Let's try to look at this real quick though. So off of this candle that we are currently, trading on, I wouldn't say that we are, utilizing this candle so much. I would say that we're possibly utilizing this candle itself and really kind of playing something similar to this, where we will have a little bit of a corrective basis because, of course, this is on the weekly span. We might have some nice impulses here. We might have some breaks a little bit, throughout this time. But ultimately, I do think that this is going to lead us to a new all-time high, especially if we go off of this candle, for an example. Of course, bars graphs are not like a good overall, 100% guarantee. But overall, I do think that we are looking to see something similar to what we did see back here once we did break over the 382, which we are currently, doing so right now on the micro fib levels. On the macro fib levels, which I did have on the chart, and we could really kind of address this real quick. So let me get rid of this fib scale, and let me go back off of those major lows. So here we go. Let me make sure that this is on the, this is the crash of 2020, the COVID crash. Let's go off of the bottom structure here. So there we have it. Let me zoom in real quick on this upward trend that we are currently in. And here we have it. So here is that major resistance point at the 702 currently. We have seen the 702 being tested before, by the way, as well. Like, here is, again, the previous one. where we did see just a it was like a massive smash above the 702, which led us on that nice rally. On the daily, you can really kind of see the 702 being battled back there as well. So just so that you guys know, this is the 702 up here. So we hit this, we tested it a few times. We double tapped it before eventually breaking out of it. Came down and kind of tested it in terms of support and rode the trail. But again, right now with what we are seeing in the market, we're seeing a major resistance level being tested at that point, similar to what we did see back in that time frame. And I do think that this next major breakout event here is going to allow for altcoins to surge, specifically XLM. Now, what is going to be the deciding factor here? Well, I am watching the dollar. So I told you guys to watch the dollar throughout this week. And also, by the way, fib scale going back to March of 2020, as you guys do see on the chart here. And this also goes off of those lows from like the 2021 basis, which did lead for a massive altcoin market. If we do have that bearish cycle printed out on the dollar, which I did address in my XRP video from earlier today, this will continue to break down. Don't know what's going to happen by the time that you do watch this, but I am hoping that we come down and test this, support down here, maybe a triple bottom at about 97.71 to have like maybe a nice tap off of it. So we'll most likely have, something like this where we come down, test this, maybe come up and try to test resistance yet again at the 702 before ultimately having this nice dropping point coming down to test my major demand zone. If we can get a nice little bounce off of this, maybe we'll, tap this fib level up here, get a nice rejection off of this point yet again as a major resistance tap. And then from here, we will go into a multi-year bear market, leading the market into a nice rally point, similar to what we did see during that 2021 basis. This will be something to really kind of watch for, especially as we do kind of march forward on into, 2022. And now let's talk about XLM. So like I said, in terms of XLM, it is at multi-year resistance levels. This is what I am watching for very, very closely. Yeah, break above this 24-cent zone will push us much higher. This will push us actually to around almost 38 cents, well, technically almost 37 cents exact, before ultimately breaking out. You guys do see exactly what happened when we did break out of this multi-year resistance level here during January, which did lead us to almost the all-time high. It led us to like around 79, almost 80 cents exact. But I do believe on this next major move up, it will bring us to new all-time highs, much higher than, of course, before. Once we do see, a major breaking point above this, it's going to get very interesting very fast. You do see the 24 centile range here, sort of getting that nice break above, kind of finding support at around roughly 22.5 cents almost. Again, before continuing onward and upward. Now, I know that sometimes the all-time highs on some exchanges could be a little bit difficult to really kind of read. I know that the all-time high here is actually 93.81, which could, change the fib scale drastically. So let's actually kind of have this nice depiction in terms of an accurate basis, because I know on the XRP price chart, for an example, I actually have the exact, all-time high. So 93.81. Let's go off of this real quick just to see what this actually shows us. So again, doesn't really change too much. Kind of pushes this level up just slightly, but again, you still see that tap of resistance there. But ultimately speaking, I would say that this is probably one of the most bullish charts out there compared to most altcoins, just because it is really kind of starting that breakout event. Let's check out the RSI and also the volume for this one. So again, weekly volume kind of piling up, still in a diminished volume area. RSI looks pretty strong, looks like a nice, bounce off of support. It's also the bounce that we've seen back in March of 2020, by the way. Just so that you guys know, in terms of the RSI level, it's really strong here. But if we do go on this nice rally, so similar to what we've seen back in March, so we'll actually go off of that point down here from March. This is basically where we did bottom out. And then here we did this nice little run up. Now again, similar structural view that we are in this like nice little sideways momentum. Ultimately speaking, when we're talking about this really breaking out and going into this nice surge event, so I'm actually going to go off of this candle here because it would make sense, where we do kind of trade sideways a little bit, break up above. The candles will most likely be a lot, longer here because again, there is a lot more volume and buy-in in the market currently. So it will be something similar to this, where we will officially kind of break out and get this little bit of a resistance tap at the $1.50 mark at the 1618 before having that corrective basis. Now, ultimately, this will lead us to around the May timeframe. I think that by this time we could actually be higher. We could be even like roughly around like this almost 3618 area between $2 and $3. I know that that's kind of crazy to say the least, but if we're talking about topping points for this entire altcoin market, I've always said that we're very close. And when I say like we're very close, I mean like we're very close to an alt season run along the boards. We don't know specifically when the topping point's going to be for, altcoins. That's, where Bitcoin is really kind of going to determine the factors in. But I've always said, between like the $2.50, level to like around this like $3 plus level is like the high points. But I also have my targets set even higher. Like I even have like a moon bag position for $10 if we do, see FOMO, follow through. But I'm more so dead set on like $2.50 to about like $4.50 with possible even higher targets. But XLM is one that's really kind of showing us the future on which we really want to see, and that is a break above significant levels. Zilliqa printed, Zilliqa's continuing to print right now. Like if we're talking about those multi-year resistance levels being targeted, Zilliqa really kind of showed us exactly what happens when we do break out of those levels. And, here we have it, right? So we broke above this multi-year, resistance level. Again, this isn't going off of like the March lows. If we were going off of the March lows, I can kind of show you guys what that would look like. So real quick, let me zoom in and let's go off of these March lows. But this is what I'm watching for throughout this entire market, is just like a lot of strength in terms of altcoins. But again, you could see that clear resistance to level being at around like 6 some cents roughly. It's like almost 6.5. We broke out of that, then continued onward and upward, and now we are looking very bullish to test multi-year, or not multi-year, massive resistance at around September, and it looks like we are getting that breakout event. So, very bullish. I might actually do an update on Zilliqa later today, but again, even in terms of XLM and XRP, like we are looking forward to seeing these major resistance levels being broken. XRP is actually at major resistance levels similar to XLM. So when this breaks out, or when XRP breaks out, I expect to break out for either one of them as well at the same time. So, watch for that closely. And also the Bitcoin price chart for both of these assets looks very similar to this. You can go off of this fib level, or you can go off of the bottom fib here. I'm going off of this bottom fib because this is going back to December 2020, where we did see the major lows on the Bitcoin price chart. Right now, I am targeting this 600 and roughly 55 sat level. That's what I am waiting for. Again, this has the potential to really, retest those highs going back as far as like 2017 and 2018 in terms of the Bitcoin price chart, which will push us very high on the US dollar or price chart with, XLM. I just think that when we are talking about those high levels, we have so much potential to go so high in terms of price appreciation if we are talking about these fib outreaches. I've always been saying, there's a lot of ROI potential in, Stellar Lumens. I think that we could easily see a 10x opportunity here, if, price action and demand does provide it. My bare minimum targets are this 2618, which is almost 1,000% of an increase in price, all the way as high as like $4 plus. So like I said, 1,500% run, something like that is significant. So please pay attention to the altcoin market, as we are seeing a lot of money flying in, and resistance is being met. And I think that we are going to see a major breakout event here, as stocks look very bullish. I've been showing you guys the major indices every single. I've been showing you guys the major indices every single week. every single day of the week as well. Of course, minus the weekend, but things look very bullish along the boards for stocks and crypto, especially as the dollar is kind of dropping in value. XLM has been doing very well, especially in terms of their mainnet, updates and stuff like that. So please pay attention to XLM. Please pay attention to XRP because these are assets that nobody's looking at. But look at the price chart, especially compared to 2017 and 2018. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.